Hello? Hello, hello. There we go. All right, you guys can hear. You guys should be able to hear me now. I think. Let me know for sure down in the comments. But I believe that it should be working now, guys. Let me just give me 1 second while I get it fully set up in terms of the thumbnail and everything else before we truly get started. Let's see. And yeah, double check with me, guys, that y'all can hear me successfully. Please, please, please. Okay, I believe there's 8 of you guys right now. Let me know. Live chat. Let me know. We can hear you. Perfect. Perfect. Let me just fix the thumbnail on this so everyone knows that it's the official one. Sorry, guys. Please work with me on the issues we've been having. Obviously, we're a little rusty out here. I don't know what was going on with the phone. I ended up resetting my phone. That's where I stream through, and that seemed to do the trick. So I'm glad that you guys can hear me now. Just give me a couple minutes here. Let's see, changing the thumbnail. Okay, we got that. Save. Arsenis, thank you so much, man. I know it's been a bit of an uphill battle lately. A little inconsistent. We're trying to find that rhythm. We'll talk a little bit more about the channel overall. Yes, we're gonna talk about score predictions. Adam Hamdan. Let me know if I said your name properly. I may have butchered that a little bit. Just hang in there for 1 second. I'm trying to just get everything set up with the actual stream on my laptop before we get fully underway over here. Let's see. We got a lot to talk about in this game. Obviously, we still have an hour till the game starts, so it's perfect timing, and we'll get this right. Okay, let's just delete this last stream super quick. I just wanted to first go live to double check that you guys could hear me. So now that you guys can hear me well, all right, perfect. Yeah, we're in. Guys, before getting fully started, if you guys could please go down there and just hit the like button just to make sure we have as many people with the stream liked. That way it pushes it to the rest of the community of the channel, and we get as many people as we possibly can here. So let's get started with the live stream. Welcome back to it, Merengue Cole. I'm really happy to be doing this with you guys. Obviously, it's been a minute. We've been, I was saying, pretty inconsistent with the videos lately, but we're trying to sort some things out. We're trying to get the studio. As you can see, we have it up right here. But as you guys remember from back in the day, it used to be a little bit different. Without further ado, let's jump into what really matters today, because we have a huge game, Real Madrid versus Liverpool. As you guys, many of you probably watched the first leg live reactions. Real Madrid ended up taking that game 5-2. However, there's a lot to talk about that game. We did the live reactions, and you guys saw what I thought during the game. But it was in my opinion, it's a very tricky score. Okay, yes, we have a 3-goal advantage. Yes, we scored 5 goals on Liverpool. But when we take a step back and really analyze Real Madrid over the past couple months, the game against Liverpool is an outlier. It really is an outlier. And on the other hand, Liverpool has been playing extremely inconsistent as well. So in my opinion, we have two teams that have been pretty inconsistent for the majority of the season. And I see a couple of you guys are starting to join the stream. There's 13 people right now. So if all of you could just make sure you hit that like button. We're going to be conversating here for some time until this game starts. Lots to be excited about. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. A lot closer than that first leg, but nonetheless, a really good game. The lineups are actually currently being released. When I had the stream already, in mind, and I was preparing everything that we were going to be talking about, I already had the predicted lineups, and funny enough, it's been the same exact ones for each of the two teams. So we're going to talk about that in just a second, the starting lineups, and obviously score predictions a little bit later on down the road. But as I was saying, guys, I think this game is going to be a lot closer than the first one. When we look back at that first game, within the first, 15, 20 minutes, Liverpool was already up 2-0 on us, and Madrid was showing very little signs of life out there. And it was really worrying at the moment. I was shocked at the fact that Liverpool was up 2-0. However, with the way Madrid was playing, it made sense. In that game, we started out with Alaba as our left back. If you guys remember, he was coming back from injury after a long time being out, a couple months really. And frankly, Salah went to work on him. If you guys remember, once again, during that live stream, during the live reactions when I was reacting to the game, I'm just getting frustrated with Alaba left and right until he happens to get injured. Oh, actually, before Salah scored that second goal, which obviously wasn't really Alaba's fault, but before he scored it, I was already saying Liverpool's about to score the second goal. Salah is about to score the second goal. Like, they are just taking advantage of Alaba, who is just not ready for this such a big caliber game after coming back from an injury. Obviously, I rate Alaba very highly, and I love the player. He's phenomenal. But in that game, he wasn't ready. And then they end up scoring the second goal. Courtois, such an unfortunate mistake. I mean, it can happen to anyone. We've seen so many top goalies have mistakes, and Courtois, I'm never gonna destroy him for what happened or anything. You know, it's unlucky. It shouldn't be happening. I'm not by any means excusing his mistake. It shouldn't be happening. However, it happened, and that's that. Madrid had to climb an uphill battle, and guess what? They did, just like they did all of last year against PSG, then against Chelsea, and then against Manchester City before going up against Liverpool themselves in that final that you guys very much know and remember. Shout out the 14th Champions League. Obviously, all of us were very, 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 very happy with those results. So anyways, Madrid had to climb an uphill battle in the last game, and Vinicius Jr. put the team on his back. Benzema has not been, in my opinion, very well this whole season overall. He's had game, and the thing with Benzema is he's such a good player. Benzema is such a good player that even when he's having the terrible season, in my opinion, that he's having, he still manages to put himself in the right positions and get the goals. A lot of the goals for Benzema this season have either been penalties or tap-ins. In my opinion, he's not been linking up with the team as well. There's been other issues with Vinicius in terms of maybe his attitude. One could argue, but nonetheless, that game against Liverpool, Vini put the team on his back and said every time he would demand the ball at his feet and he would terrorize that defense. And ultimately, once his shot finally went in, it seems like so many games that we watched Real Madrid play, Vinicius is out there kind of frustrating us because he's creating all these chances. You see all the flair in him, and then he gets in that perfect position, and all he has to do is put it home, tap it away, and he messes up the final shot. But in the Liverpool first leg, Vinicius was inspired, and everything actually went his way. You know, any shot that he took, either it was on target and Alisson had an amazing save, or it just went in. So obviously everything worked our way in that first leg, and now we're coming to the second leg with a 5-2, with a 3-goal lead, essentially. You could say 5-2 was the final score. And once again, guys, I'm seeing that a couple more of you are joining the stream. I see Cool Drew that just commented in there. A lot of familiar names out there. Just make sure you hit that like button. We want to get as many likes as possible to keep pushing this stream to more people. We are about an hour away, less than an hour away now for the start of the match. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button. With that being said, let's wrap up the summary of that first leg. You know, we've been talking about how Madrid had to climb an uphill battle. Vinicius put the team on his back. Alaba ended up getting re-injured, and Nacho came in for him. And Nacho, in my opinion, his first half of the season was really controversial because he kept arguing that he was not happy with the situation, not getting very minutes. And I feel like over the past month, even 2 months, he's been playing so much and at such a good level. And Nacho continues to amaze all of us. every single time. I mean, I really can't think of many times when Nacho has come into this team and not really put in all his effort, gave it his all, and actually delivered for us. So in that first leg against Liverpool, Nacho came in the left back position, a position that is not his position, but he's played it so much now that he's pretty used to it. And so he comes in and does a phenomenal job at shutting down Salah now and allowing the team to keep growing. Vinicius putting the team on his shoulders and his back, and then allowing us to complete that insane comeback. And then on top of that, get even more goals to have a goal difference. If the away goal was still a thing in this Champions League, forget it, guys. Liverpool would have to score 4 goals, and I would think this game is for sure over. With that being said, before we actually start talking about a little more about the predictions, let's run through the confirmed lineups for each team, and we'll talk a little bit more about each player. Here I'm looking at the chat, guys. I see a lot of you guys saying "Ala Madrid, Vamos Madrid." Let's see, Cool Drew. These Liverpool fans are making me think they can come back. Let's calm down. I mean, every team is gonna want to push their team forward. Once again, let me just bring it back real quick. Liverpool, literally a couple weeks later, come up against Manchester United and absolutely destroy Manchester United 7-0 when Manchester United had just eliminated Barcelona and was looking to. We're playing really good, honestly. I mean, I watched that Barcelona-Manchester United game, and Manchester United played well, guys. And that's a team that for so many seasons I've been hating and just talking so much crap about because they cannot figure it out. And it seems like Manchester United is actually figuring it out. And then to see Liverpool go and put 7 past Manchester United, I myself wasn't too sure who was going to win that game. I didn't think it was going to be for Liverpool for Manchester United right away. I thought it was going to be more of a tie. But like I said, Liverpool really surprised us, and I'm sure that has fueled a lot of the Liverpool supporters' belief in being able to do this. And I'm not saying that it's impossible, because now we're going to bring it back to other ties that Madrid has had in the past in the Champions League, where they come in with a big lead after the first leg, and I haven't seen them bottle it yet, but came very, very close. If you guys remember, maybe 4 to 5 years ago now, we went and played Juventus in Turin, won the first leg 3-0. 3-0, same goal difference as we're coming into this game with, and then went back to Santiago Bernabeu, and Juventus scored 2 goals. I can't remember if it was early on or not, but they scored 2 goals, and then in the last minutes, scored the 3rd goal that ended up being called off. I think it was for an offsides, or no, it was like a foul, something like that. But nonetheless, it was controversial, and they did score that 3rd goal, even though it got taken away. They ended up scoring that 3rd goal, and then I think we ended up going to extra time, or in the dying minutes, we get a penalty, and Ronaldo scores that penalty, and we end up going through. So Don, I just want Madrid to win 3-0 and make the aggregate 8-2 and show Ricky the scoreline. Oh man, I wish Ricky could be here for this game. I really do, but he's with some friends right now. Nonetheless, Madrid showed us how even with a 3-0 lead, you can never be too confident. And then, not too long ago, what happened last season against Chelsea? We had a 2-goal difference. Obviously, it's not the 3-goal difference we have right now, but we had a 2-goal difference, and Chelsea managed to actually not just tie it up, but come all the way around. Chelsea was going through for a good amount of that time last year until I believe it was Benzema or Rodrigo, one of those two that, ended up scoring that goal for us, take it extra time, and then we scored one more, and Madrid pulled it off yet again. We always find a way to pull it off somehow, because that's just the legend of this club, Real Madrid. But with that being said, I'm just warning you guys. In my opinion, the game is not over. Ancelotti has been warning the players. I believe it was a week ago at the end of the match in La Liga, or no, it was this previous La Liga match. He went and warned all his players that this game is not over, and that's the mentality that we should be going in. At least the players, we're not the ones playing, but I think Madrid fans should be going in there. Game's not over till it's over. Anything can happen, and if there's any team to prove that, it's us. anything can happen at any given minute. If you guys remember against Manchester City last year, the game was over. There was 2 minutes left, and we somehow managed to score 2 goals with Rodrigo super sub, just like Jermaine Pereyo just said, Rodrigo super sub, which he is going to be a super sub yet again. I'm saying that we have now 30 people. We're 30 people on the live stream. If you guys could just go in there and just smash that like button, that way we can keep having a couple more of you come in and just continue this pre-game party, as I want to call it, before the match actually gets underway. And that's why I title the live stream Party or Spooky Night in Madrid, because that is the question. I think it could either be this huge party for us, or it could be like that Chelsea game last year where Chelsea scored a couple goals early on and all of us were just biting our nails the whole game until finally we got that goal. All it takes, in my opinion, all it takes for Real Madrid is to score 1 goal. And I think with 1 goal, we essentially have Liverpool, done. I think with 1 goal, especially if we're the first ones to score it. If we are the first ones to score it, I think the game's over. If Liverpool scores first, they're gonna obviously be pressing hard. I mean, I expect them to come out extremely hard within the first 15 minutes, looking for 1 goal, and then after those first 15 minutes, then maybe they could start slowing down and seeing kind of seeing how the game goes. But if I were Jurgen Klopp, I would be telling my guys, stop worrying about the fact that you guys need to score 3 goals to tie this match up. Just focus on the first goal. That's what I would be telling them. Focus on scoring 1 goal in the first half, and then we go from there. That's what I'd be telling if I was the Liverpool coach. I think for Madrid, they need to go out there and play their game. They can't go out there and play this defensive game and try to hold this lead. They need to play just like if the game was 0-0 and this was the final. They need to go out there and remember the final from last year that we beat Liverpool 1-0. It's the same game. Go out there and beat Liverpool in your stadium, because that's what you're supposed to do. You can't just go out there and try to hold on to this 3-0 lead that you have. With that being said, guys, was getting a little heated there for no reason there. So let's go ahead and review the lineups. So these were actually the lineups that I had written at the start of today. The lineups hadn't been confirmed, and it so happened to be that both of them ended up being correct. Starting with Real Madrid in goal, obviously Courtois, we don't have to spend much time on him. He's going to have reflected a lot on the last game against Liverpool and his mistake, and I'm sure that won't happen again. Next time he'll clear it, and that's that. He just tried to play out the back, and that was unfortunate. On the right back side, Carvajal. The center back duo is Militao and Rudiger, who Rudiger, kind of assisted by Alaba and his injuries, has really just taken advantage of Alaba's injuries and fully taken his starting position. And I think Rudiger from now till for sure the end of the season will continue being the starting center back along with Militao. Militao is just every month he is reaching new levels. He's reaching new levels, becoming, right now I'd definitely put him in the top 3 center backs of the world. And watching his progression from the moment that he got to Madrid up until now. He was obviously here when Ramos and Varane were still here, had to endure the pain of having to watch him through the bench, but he definitely learned a lot of them, because he has Ramos' aggressions, like all the aggression that Ramos has when he goes into tackles. He also has Varane's mental strength. Varane was a really, really, really smart player. Militao, I feel like he used to commit a lot of mistakes, but every game that I see him, he commits less and less mistakes, and he's more of a leader out there on the pitch. So watching Militao is phenomenal, and like I said, watching his progression has been great. So let's bring it back to the lineup. Carvajal on the right back side, Militao, Rudiger. Carvajal, a player who, when it comes to the Champions League, I feel like he hits another level. In La Liga, he's really, really inconsistent, but normally in the Champions League, he delivers with great performances, and he's normally helps us out a lot in the attack. And then on the left back spot, Nacho, the man that we've been talking about for at least 5 minutes this whole stream. Nacho will be out there helping out to cover for Salah. Now, obviously, Nacho is not the fastest of players, and that is the one thing that worries me about him. But the thing is, he's so tactically smart. He knows how to put himself in the right positions that he normally does not get outpaced. Like his speed is normally not a factor. However, obviously, if we get caught in a counterattack, it could be a little dangerous. So we do want to watch out for that. Guys, we now have 42 people in the stream. I'm not sure which percentage of it is new to El Merengue Culé, or which percentage is obviously returning fans. But just a quick reminder to just hit that like button. And as we keep moving on with this live stream preview for the Real Madrid Liverpool game that is going to be underway in about 45 minutes, we're starting to warm up those engines out here. Warm up those engines. We're going through the starting lineup right now. We've gone through the defense, and now we're going to jump on into the midfield. Now, I thought about this a lot, and they actually asked Ancelotti in the pregame conference whether he was going to be going for experience or for the more youth energy, and he said both. And that's exactly what he's doing out there. We have Modric and Cruz, who are all the experience, provide the brains. In the case that Liverpool starts off really strong and they do get a goal, or maybe even two early on, it falls down to Modric and Cruz to calm the team down. Them and Benzema as well, right? But we're talking about the midfield right now. They are the brains, the experience of the whole operation, and they're the ones in charge of keeping the team in a calm mode whenever things get tough. Because there's going to be a moment, guys, expect it. There's going to be a moment in this tie where we're gonna be a little bit nervous. And I say that, I feel like from experience in these games, Real Madrid always puts us in those situations. So at this point, I'm just getting mentally prepared. And if somehow we end up having a party and we never end up having to worry, then thank God. But I'm already getting mentally prepared for a roller coaster, as it usually is in these Champions League games. So Modric and Cruz, obviously in the midfield, they're gonna be controlling that. And the third center mid with him was the real question, whether it was going to be Tchouaméni or Camavinga. Now, right now, guys, I'm going to take a quick sip of water, and I want you guys to comment in the chats whether you would have wanted Camavinga or Tchouaméni. I just want you to put either Cama or Tchou, Tchou. I want to see what you guys think. So I see Coulter's going for Camavinga. Aiden Reacts is going for Camavinga as well. Nicolas Kermi, Camavinga. It looks like, so far 3 votes all have gone for Camavinga. We have the first Tchouaméni vote from Zijit. Zijit going for Tchou. Antonio O, Tchou. German Pereyo, Tchou. It's now 3-3. Mulgoki, Camavinga, 4-3. Both. That could have been another interesting combination. However, I feel like the combination of Tchou and Camavinga has not been tested too much for whatever reason, and it could be too defensive. It could be too defensive, guys. And like I said, we want to go out there and just kind of play our game, and our game isn't normally to have Tchouaméni and Camavinga. However, going in the future, that's something that Ancelotti or whoever the manager is going to have to work on, because those two guys soon will both have to be in the starting lineup. The only problem is that Camavinga plays better in that center defensive mid position compared to the Toni Kroos and Modric position. As I've kind of been trying to analyze for the past couple seasons, I feel like his performances are usually better when he plays center defensive mid, just like Tchouaméni. That's the only issue, but that's an issue for the future. It seems that most of you guys are pretty divided. At the beginning, I saw a lot of Camavinga votes, and then all the Tchouaméni votes started coming in, and then a lot of people started saying that they wanted both. Obviously, as you guys already know, the choice ended up being Camavinga, and I think that is going to be the right choice, because Camavinga, compared to Tchouaméni, provides a little more energy. Tchouaméni is, in my opinion, the smarter player, less mistakes, but Camavinga has this. There's just this something about Camavinga, this flair that he has, this stride, the energy that he brings to the team that Tchouaméni just can't do. Tchouaméni is an extremely solid player, but we already have solid players there. High risk, high return. Exactly. Camavinga is a high risk player, but high return. I believe, and Ancelotti was talking about this in the press match conference, that Camavinga, he makes a lot of mistakes, but it's like you forget about these mistakes because he delivers such good performances aside from those mistakes in the entirety of the game. And it's what all he can bring you. You have a whole team that now, I'm sure the team around him, Militao, Rudiger, Modric, Toni Kroos, the outside backs, they're all, when Camavinga has the ball, they might be a little more careful in case he makes that mistake. But if he doesn't make that mistake and he gets away with it, then he could create a really, really dangerous chance for us or win a ball back because he has really, really, really long legs too. Anyways, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it would have been a mistake to start Tchouaméni nor Camavinga. I think either one, both of them are so good and so talented that they're just as equipped to start. The only thing I'll say is Camavinga is in a lot better form right now, in my opinion. And that, in the end, is the difference maker for me. Camavinga has, I think, and Ancelotti, I think he said in the press match conference, I think he started 16 out of the last 17 games, something crazy. He's been racking up so many minutes, and so he's in really good form right now. He has not been dragging with any potential injury, whereas Tchouaméni has had an inconsistent 2023. Started off with an injury after the World Cup, came back, and I think he got like re-injured for a couple more days, things like that. So Tchouaméni has not been in the best of forms right now. So I think, opting for Camavinga was not the worst of choices. And that'll be a topic to analyze throughout the game, whether the gamble for Camavinga worked or not. And I don't even think it's that big of a gamble. And then up top, guys, the usual front three that I would say, it's obviously between Valverde and Rodrigo, but Valverde ended up being the one that's going to be starting him, Benzema, Vinicius Jr., and I think that's the right choice in a game that's going to be very attacking heavy for Liverpool, potentially counterattack heavy for Liverpool. It's good to have Valverde that's more box to box, can slot into the midfield. When we're defending, we can easily change the formation to a 4-4-2. Vini kind of tucks in a little closer to Benzema, or can stay out wide to give the team width, and then Valverde just drops in and kind of helps the midfield out. And then like we know what Rodrigo can do off the bench. Everyone knows him as one of the best super subs at this point. Everything he did last year is phenomenal. So I like the fact that we have Rodrigo on the bench as a change to the dynamic in case that we're in the position where it's actually they scored three. It's 3-0. We actually need to just bring out a gun out there. Rodrigo's a perfect gun. So overall, I would say I'm very happy with I just got a notification. Camavinga has started 18 out of the last 20 games for Real Madrid. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal because that was a big bet that the club put on him last year, bringing him in. He didn't have the most playing time last year, and then this year it seems like it's really becoming his breakout season. So that's really good for Camavinga. I'm really happy for him, and I hope he continues developing, and I hope that him and Tchouaméni can start playing together soon. Shout out to Lejean Brooks, support from Belize. Thanks so much, man. Shout out to you. Ricky for El Clásico. Yeah, El Clásico, we're definitely gonna have a video for that one. I know we didn't have a video for the last Clásico, but this weekend, you best bet that there's gonna be a live reaction for the El Clásico with Ricky there. You have my word. You have my word. With that being said, let's jump on to the Liverpool starting lineup. Liverpool had some big question marks coming into this game in terms of personnel. Thiago, a great player for them, started in the final last year for them, has been injured for a good amount of time. And then recently, last minute, Jordan Henderson and Stefan Bajcetic, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, or both of them, I think, picked up injuries. I'm not sure if they're going to be on the bench. I'll have to check that later. But they're definitely not in the starting lineup. So that's a big hit for Liverpool in terms of the midfield. Because now in their midfield, they're having to deal with... so they're going to play a 4-2-3-1. The two midfielders being Fabinho and James Milner. I mean, guys, look. Fabinho's a phenomenal player. But he's a very Casemiro-esque type player. Right? Center defensive mid. Not the best in terms of creativity, bringing the ball up. And then James Milner... I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect James Milner, but he's not at the... He's obviously the experience in their midfield, just like Toni Kroos and Modric is for us. But when you compare Toni Kroos and Modric to Milner, there's no comparison there. So, Fabinho and Milner, I think that is the weak link in Liverpool's lineup. Milner is cheeks. Well said, Steezy. Let's see. How are you going to pull up with Milner in midfield at the Bernabeu, bro? That's what I'm saying. When I look at the starting lineup for Liverpool and I see Fabinho and Milner in their midfield, it seems like a very unbalanced midfield. And then I look at their front four because they're essentially going with four up top. I mean Diego Jota, I know he's playing essentially as a center attacking mid to help out in the midfield, but Diego Jota normally plays out on the wing. He's not really an attacking mid. He's not really a midfielder, okay? So Liverpool is essentially, in a sense, going with 4-2-4 formation, 4 up top, which obviously is a lot of attacking power. But what happens? What happens when that attacking power starts failing for you and Madrid scores a goal, or you need to control the midfield a little bit more? I think Madrid can control this midfield with no problem. And if we cut off their head, aka their attack, they might not have anything to do. So sure, we look up top and they have Diego Jota, Salah on the right wing, Gakpo on the left wing, and then Darwin up top. It's a pretty good attacking force. Darwin, I feel like, has been a bit inconsistent. Sometimes he'll come up with a really good game in the Premier League, and then sometimes he'll go missing for 2-3 games, and then there goes Jurgen Klopp having to go out there to defend him in press conference, and then he defends them, and then 2 games later he scores a couple goals and everyone's happy, and then he goes back to missing. You never really know which Darwin you're gonna get. Yes, he scored a beautiful goal against us in that first leg. Don't get me wrong. That little flick that he had was phenomenal. But we'll see what kind of game he has today. Salah, I feel like if we look at his overall career, started here at Chelsea, then went to Roma and started performing a lot better at Roma. And obviously he hit his prime in Liverpool for the past 2, 3, even 4 years. But if you personally ask me how he's doing right now, I say that prime, he's on that downhill in that prime, in my opinion. Someone's asking me for the Liverpool defenders. Give me 1 second. Let me just finish up with the strikers. Gakpo has had a phenomenal World Cup, obviously, and that's how he really earned his big money move to Liverpool. Whereas he probably would have gone to maybe like a more maybe like a Newcastle, someone good. But overall, Gakpo, really tall player, could be an aerial threat for Liverpool. But when I look at this team, very inconsistent, which is what we've seen in the Premier League, and that is exactly why they're in 6th, 7th place in the Premier League. And I'm not trying to disrespect Liverpool. They're a phenomenal team that was in the Champions League final literally last year. They're obviously a great team, and they can have a phenomenal game at any point. Let's move on to the defense, where we have, I think, the main defense that Liverpool could, the best defense that Liverpool could really go out there with Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right back position, Van Dijk and Konate at center backs. 2 huge center backs. I mean, they're great. And then Andy Robertson on the left back with Alisson in goal. So I mean, just say it. There you go. Darwin Nunez is a flop. Not yet. Maybe after this game I will, but not yet. Their defense is good. But at the same time, Arnold, he could be a hothead. If things don't go his way, he could start picking up some yellow cards. He's gonna have Vinicius Jr. coming up on him, and Arnold is a very offensive outside back that can be caught up. We'll see how good of a game he has. Obviously, if he has a good game, he's got a phenomenal strike. He's got great vision, can put up some really good passes, really good crosses. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I feel like also at times he lacks concentration, and that's where Vini could take advantage of it. Robertson, I think I think if I were to compare the 2 outside backs in Liverpool, Arnold and Robertson, I think Arnold is a better attacker than Robertson, even though Robertson is also pretty good in attack. And then in defense, Robertson is probably a little bit better. But like I said, provides a little less flair for Liverpool up in the attack. And then Van Dijk, obviously he's a phenomenal center back. He's probably been the best center back for the past couple of years. Now this season, maybe not so much. But nonetheless, he's a great center back. And then Konate, I think he's a younger center back of the 2. I think someone said it on here, I'm so scared of Konate. I mean, I don't think it's something to necessarily be scared about. He's a good center back, but we'll be all right. We scored 5 goals on them already. We'll be all right. We're at home now. So, and then in goal, Alisson, good keeper. Overall, Liverpool has a good lineup, but I think Madrid has what it takes to beat them, honestly, but obviously to go through. Let's go into a moment that most of you guys have been waiting for, the score prediction. We've talked about, the history, previous games that Madrid has come in with a huge lead, Juventus, Chelsea, always giving us scares. And I think this one won't be that different. However, I don't think we'll have as much of a heart attack as in those 2 previous ones. I think in those 2 previous ones against Chelsea and Juventus in the previous years, we were literally looking down at the cliff, ready to jump off. I think this one we might walk and then be a couple feet away from the cliff and then be like, nah, we're not today. So I think Liverpool's gonna get the first goal. I think by the end of the first half, it's gonna be 1-0 for Liverpool. However, the second half will be different. Liverpool could get a second goal. However, I think the final score will be 1-1. But in the worst case scenario, Liverpool could win 2-1. However, I think, I don't know if Madrid is necessarily going to win. I mean, they could win. They could definitely win. 1-0. 1-0 for Madrid could definitely happen. But with the nerves and all the things that normally happen in these types of games, I could see it ending in a tie or either a narrow victory for Real Madrid, meaning just 1 goal difference, unless Liverpool really just loses their mind and I don't know what the hell they're doing out there. But I think a narrow victory for Real Madrid is possible. A tie, and then I don't know if Liverpool could come up there with a 2-1 for victory for them. So I'm saying 3-1 Liverpool. Rodrigo with the last minute dagger. Oh man, that would be very, very, very scary. Let's hope now. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at you guys. I want to hear y'all's predictions. I see Mohamed Jaber is saying I can see a 2-0 Liverpool, which would obviously mean Madrid still goes through. Nacho could have a shaky game versus Salah and Trent. We'll see. I hope Liverpool don't score in the first half. I think that's a key thing for Liverpool. For them, it's key to score in the first half. If they can do that, then they're putting themselves in a much better position. However, they're climbing a real uphill battle. This game makes me remember the Real versus Chelsea game. Yeah, that's the one I've been talking about. I think it was, that one was last year, and then also the Juventus one, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. 2-0 Madrid. I don't know why people are saying Liverpool scoring. I hope, man. I hope. For sure. Liverpool not scoring. The Juve game, yep. 2-1 victory for Madrid. So obviously, as you guys can see in the comments, I think it's a very unpredictable game. And I think it can go either way in terms of who wins the game. But in terms of who's going to go through, I don't think I'm too worried about that. Now, can Liverpool win this game? Possibly. It wouldn't be the craziest thing. I don't think Madrid's in the best of forms. I think they've been struggling to score, and that's the main issue that I have with Madrid. I think when I look at them in La Liga, I've been seeing some attacking issues. You know, there's been a good amount of games in the past month that have ended 0-0. A good amount of games that we've conceded as well. So those are the one things that, I'm not seeing a Madrid that's as defensively sound as previous seasons. However, in the Champions League, Madrid is different, and that's what makes them so unpredictable. So that's the thing with this game. It can go either way, but I think end of the day, I don't really see Liverpool getting a 4-goal difference on us in our stadium. I mean, if they do, I may as well just close the channel. I don't see it happening. Even if they manage to somehow score 3 goals, I don't see a game in which they score 3 goals and we don't score a single one. So, anyways, guys, I think we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Don't you worry now. We're coming close to the end of the stream, guys. I see that there's 49 people currently watching us. So make sure all of you guys, as many as you can, if you can just please go down there, hit the like button, so that way many people can come see this stream before the game starts, after the game starts, whenever. I've had a phenomenal time, and right before my final prediction's a 1-1. That's my final prediction. I think it's gonna end up 1-1. Just to make that clear. So Hazard hat trick, Jesus Christ. Hazard hat trick of bench. I don't even know. Anyways, so as we're coming close to the end of the stream, I really enjoy doing this pregame live stream. I think for me, so the problem is that in terms of life, my brother and I have been transitioning to different parts. I'm getting ready to graduate from school. I don't spend as much time at home anymore. When we opened up El Merengue Culé, it was like peak COVID times, though, we were here most of the time, even though we were still in school. Now that COVID is kind of disappearing little by little, our responsibilities outside of the house are a lot greater. So oftentimes I find myself with very little time to react live to these games. And then it's also time commitment. So I'm trying to find ways in which I can continue this going. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys love the content and love to see it. So weekends are a time where obviously we can have more live reactions. When it comes to Champions League games, it's a little tougher. Right now I'm in spring break. Let me make that clear. Right now I'm in spring break, so I have this whole week at home. So it really opened me up some time to sit in here with you guys and do this live stream. However, live stream may just be, we never forgot about you guys. Thank you so much, Cool Drew. I never forgot about y'all. Y'all were always in the back of my mind, and I knew I was going to come back. But at the same time, we also did kind of need a break. We had been going through 2.5 seasons already. Time went by super fast. 2.5 seasons of creating content, and I mean it is a lot of work sometimes, guys. I know it doesn't seem like it sometimes, but it is. So anyways, we might be transitioning into maybe more live streaming. I wanted to kind of get you guys' opinions on what y'all thought about this live stream. Maybe doing pregame live streams, or just live streaming during the game and kind of talking about it, or live streaming after the game to discuss what happened, and then you guys can come back and watch the stream if you guys aren't able to watch it live, obviously. Let me read some of the comments. Are you happy that PSG went out? Hell yes, I am. Mbappe, see you later. Messi, see you later. I'm so happy about that. However, for a second, I did think that they were going to go through. Like, even after they lost 1-0, I thought they were going to be able to go through, but they choked again. Are you scared of Gakpo versus Carvajal? No, not necessarily. I mean, the height difference is pretty significant. Obviously, with crosses, sometimes Carvajal can lose his mark, and with Gakpo being so tall, he could definitely win a header. That could be dangerous, but Carvajal, even though he can sometimes be inconsistent, I think in the Champions League, that's when he usually has his head on pretty straight. So I think it'll be all right. Been a while, Rodrigo. What's up, Ayush? Missed you, man. Ready for a 0-4 and then 1-4 in the 80th minute. Jesus. Hope your opinions on Camavinga starting at defensive mid. We talked about that a little bit earlier, so I'm happy about it. I think it's the right choice. He's more informed than Tchouaméni, in my opinion, even though he does obviously make mistakes, but I think he'll be okay. Who will score for Liverpool? I think Darwin will. Tell me y'all don't act like y'all are on TikTok. Yeah, no, we're not as crazy, man, for sure. Yeah, I think I'd sub Tchouaméni on depending on how the game is looking. But all right, guys. With that being said, I'm gonna end the stream here pretty soon. That way I can take a breather. We are gonna have some live reactions, so you can expect that in a couple hours after the game. Usually it takes me about 2 hours to edit and upload. So obviously be on the lookout. If you haven't turned on the notifications for El Merengue Culé, actually, if you haven't subscribed to El Merengue Culé, now is your chance to do it. And if you are subscribed and haven't turned on your notifications, now is your time to do it. That way you're ready to go as soon as that video drops. Make sure you guys hit the like button. We want as many people seeing this video as possible. And without further ado, guys, I don't have any more to say. A la Madrid, a la Madrid, a la Madrid. I'll give a couple shout outs for the last minute, and then we'll call it a day. IDC, shout out to you, man. Been here since the YouTube band days. That was at the end of the Euros. So way before the World Cup, we were putting out their Euro content, and that's when they banned us. But we got the account back. It's been a roller coaster out here, guys. So many of you guys are legendary members of the club, and I recognize many of y'all's names. So it makes me happy to see you guys here. Cool Drew, obviously, you're one of the #1 fans since day one. A la Madrid, guys. A la Madrid. Adam Ayub, Shanjay Brian. Shout out to you guys. FB, Jerome, Antonio O, Ayush, obviously. Shout out to all of you guys. And A la Madrid, of course. It's going to be a great game. Get excited. Get hype. And I hope they put on a show. Yeah, no, we ended up taking a break for the World Cup, too. But all right, guys, without further ado, It was a pleasure talking to you all of you, breaking down this game. I hope we have a party night in Madrid and not a spooky night. School's going great. I'm about a month and a half from graduating, and then I'm going to do a 1-year residency. So I got 1 more year of school after that, but then that'll be that with school. Stay in school, guys. All right, guys. We'll call that then. It was a pleasure talking to y'all. I'll see y'all. I guess it won't be live, but you guys will see those live reactions a couple hours after the match. So let's get hype. Let's, pray for Real Madrid. I hope that they have a good game. I hope that they don't give us a heart attack at any point in that game. But we'll be talking about it, guys. We'll be talking about a potential heart attack because we know how Madrid likes to do us. But anyways, we still love them. We still love them very, very, very much. With that being said, guys, it was a pleasure talking to y'all. I'll see y'all later. And as always,